Today I want to ask you a question. If an attacker steals an admin password today, how many computers do they instantly own? 1, 10, 100? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Gumzo Cybersecurity Podcast, where we break down cybersecurity concepts without buzzwords, without fear-mongering, and with real-world clarity. Today's topic is something deceptively simple, quietly powerful, and criminally misunderstood: the jump servers. Because here's the uncomfortable truth: most breaches don't start with 0 days, and we have previously explained what 0 days are. Most breaches don't start with 0 days. We have said 0 days are weaknesses that have not yet been previously discovered by a software vendor or developers, and therefore the attacker gets knowledge of these and exploits it, right? And therefore, most breaches start with valid credentials and uncontrolled admin access. So, what are jump servers? So that is the question, the critical question I want us to look at: define jump servers and where they fall in with regards to security of information systems and servers. Let's strip away the jargon. A jump server, also called a jump host or a bastion host, is a controlled gateway that administrators must pass through before accessing sensitive systems. Think of it this way: you don't walk directly into a bank vault. You pass through security doors, guards, cameras, while all your activities are being logged. That's a security corridor, and that's your jump server, right? Therefore, instead of admins connecting directly into their database servers, their production workload servers, their domain controllers, their cloud VMs, they must first log into one hardened system, and only from there can they jump into internal resources. So here's an idea: you don't control security by trusting people, rather, you control it by controlling paths to resources. Where does a jump server live? Let's answer that question. In most architectures, a jump server sits in a demilitarized zone, or a DMZ, or a dedicated management network. So most of the time, just to repeat this, it will be in a DMZ or a dedicated management network. So picture this: you have an admin laptop within the same computing environment. It might not be the same network, but it is the same computing environment. You have an admin laptop, you have a VPN ahead of it, then you have a jump server, then internal servers. So the admin therefore does not directly access the servers, does not do an RDP session and accesses the servers, or an SSH session and accesses the servers directly. They have to go through in a well-structured environment. Let's say you are external to the your organization network. So ideally, you'd first access a VPN. Then from a VPN, you'll have an opportunity to access a single hardened server, that is the jump server, and from there and only there can you access the rest of your computing resources. So here's the critical rule: internal systems never accept direct admin access from outside, ever, right? No public SSH, no exposed RDP, and no shortcuts, just for convenience. No shortcuts, just for convenience. Because convenience is often how breaches begin. You may be asking, why are we talking about jump servers, right? So let's talk about why they matter. Number one, they reduce the attack surface. So in most activities in cybersecurity, what you're trying to do is to reduce the attack surface. So instead of defining 50 servers with admin ports open, you define one. An attacker loves sprawl. Jump servers kill sprawl, right? Number two, stronger authentication. A jump server usually enforces multi-factor authentication, certificate-based authentication, IP restrictions, time-based access. Even if credentials leak, access still stops at the gate. Number three, why we need jump servers. It provides a centralized auditing platform. So every admin action is logged, attributed, and reviewable. In incident response, which we'll be covering very soon when we are doing digital forensics, incident response, these answers are most painful questions. In incident response, this answers the most painful question: who did what and when? So for you to answer that, you have to look at the logs. You have to see which user is attributed to have carried out a particular activity, and you have to have the ability to review all the actions that took place. Let's jump to hardening. Is one of the functions of jump servers. So what makes a jump server secure? And here's an important warning. A jump server is not just another server. A properly hardened jump server has minimal software installed. For example, instead of using a graphical user interface in that server, you purely see terminal. Then a jump server often has no internet access. A jump server disables the clipboard and file transfers. A jump server uses individual user accounts only. A jump server records every session, and it is aggressively. The patching cadence of a jump server, it will not be like any other computer in your network. The moment a vulnerability or an upgrade is released, then a patch is instituted, is installed almost immediately or as soon as possible. So we have to ask ourselves critical questions and mannerisms around jump servers, especially for the admins. So admins do not browse the web on it. We've said it has no internet access. Then admins also don't check emails on it. You don't install also random tools on your jump server. That is basic sanitization for a jump server. So why? It is because if a jump server falls, everything behind it, the resources you're trying so much to protect, remain exposed. So what are the common misconfigurations around jump servers? So what you commonly see in misconfigured jump servers is using a jump server as a daily working machine. That turns a security control into a serious liability. Now, let's look at real-world application scenarios for jump servers. Let's make this a little bit real. Where are these jump servers used? Let's keep away the fluff, the too much theory around it, and look at the practicability of it. So number one, we have enterprise IT. Access to Active Directory, financial systems, and ERP databases. Those are just example systems that could be sitting behind a jump server in enterprise IT. So jump servers ensure no direct admin access from employee laptops. Then another place where jump servers can be applied and are being applied is cloud environments. Cloud VMs don't need public IPs when a jump server mediates all access. These alone blocks thousands of automated attacks daily. So where else do we use jump servers? So another place where jump servers are used is when we are using any operational technology or industrial control systems. Industrial control systems are a subsection of operational technology. So in power grids, water systems, and manufacturing, jump servers are often mandatory. Why? Because uncontrolled admin access can mean blackouts, plant shutdowns, and physical damage. So we have looked at two critical applications of jump servers. Just to rehash, we've mentioned enterprise IT, cloud environments, and critical infrastructure such as operation technologies that are used in industries such as manufacturing, power plants, and water plants, so to speak. So let's speak about jump servers and security principles around jump servers. What informs jump servers and where do they fall within the various security perspectives or principles we could be espousing when employing jump servers? So the first principle is the principle of least privilege. Admins access systems only when needed and only through controlled paths. Remember, we said this is a corridor within which you pass, and we control everything you do, and we log everything, every activity that you do. Then another principle that is espoused by jump servers is defense in depth. So jump servers don't replace firewalls, IDS, or intrusion prevention systems, or even identity and access management. They add a layer, and layers save organizations. Then another concept that is supported by jump servers is a single point of control or a choke point. Security teams gain visibility, control, and accountability when they employ jump servers. Just to clarify, what jump servers are not. They are not zero trust fully. They do not support the philosophy of zero trust. So once inside a jump server, trust often becomes implicit, right? And zero trust espouses always authenticate, trust but verify. Yeah. So in essence, trust often is implicit once you get into the jump server, which is why modern environments combine jump servers with privilege and access management and zero trust implementations. So let's move this discussion forward and look at the modern evolution with regards to jump servers. Today, jump servers are rarely employed as standalone servers. They are increasingly paired with privilege access management, zero trust architectures, and this creates an environment where you could say you have credentialless access, session recording is a feature, you have continuous verification, and in short, jump servers are evolving from being doors to resources and into security corridors where a whole host of other interventions with regards to cybersecurity are conducted. Now, what is my final take on jump servers? If you remember nothing else from this episode, remember that most breaches don't bypass security, they walk through it, right? Jump servers exist for the following reasons: to narrow the path, to monitor the journey, and to control any inherent risk with regards to access to your critical systems. They are not flashy, they are not new, but they are foundational. And in cybersecurity, foundations matter more than trends. So that's it for today's episode on jump servers. And we look forward to the next episode where we can dive deeper and answer questions such as how jump servers compare to zero trust, where PAM fits into this whole equation, and whether jump servers still really matter in 2026 and beyond. If you found this episode useful, share it, subscribe, and keep questioning convenience in security. Up until next time, stay secure, stay curious.